Welcome back to my channel. Sharon Marie Tate Polanski was born on January 24, 1943. She was an American actress and model. Sharon Marie Tate was born in Dallas, Texas and was the eldest of 3 daughters to Colonel Paul James Tate, a United States Army officer, and his wife Doris. Tate won the Miss Tiny Tot of Dallas pageant, but her parents had no ambitions for their daughter. Paul Tate was promoted and transferred several times. By the age of 16, Tate had lived in 6 cities and reportedly found it difficult to keep friendships. Her family described her as shy with low self-esteem. As she matured, people commented on Tate's beauty and she began entering beauty pageants, winning the title of Miss Richland in Washington in 1959. She spoke of her ambition to study psychiatry and also stated her intention to compete in the Miss Washington pageant in 1960. However, before she could do this, her father received orders to be stationed in Italy. With her family relocating to Verona, Tate learned that she had become a local celebrity owing to the publication of a photograph of her in a swimsuit on the cover of the military newspaper Stars and Stripes. She finally became close with students at the American school she attended in nearby Vicenza, recognizing that their backgrounds and feelings of separation were similar to her own, and for the first time in her life began to form lasting friendships. Tate returned to the United States alone, saying that she wanted to further her studies, but tried to find film work. After a few months, Doris Tate, who feared for her daughter's safety, suffered a nervous breakdown and her daughter was persuaded to return to Italy. The family returned to the United States in 1962 and Tate moved to Los Angeles, where she contacted Richard Beymer's agent Harold Gefsky. After their first meeting, Gefsky agreed to represent her and secured work for her in television and magazine advertisements. In 1963 he introduced her to Martin Ransohoff, director of Filmways Incorporated, who signed her to a 7-year contract. During the 1960s she played television roles before appearing in films and was regularly featured in fashion magazines as a model and cover girl. She made her film debut in 1961 as an extra in Barabbas with Anthony Quinn. She appeared in the horror film Eye of the Devil, and her most remembered performance was as Jennifer North in the 1967 cult classic film Valley of the Dolls, which earned her a Golden Globe Award nomination. That year she also performed in the film The Fearless Vampire Killers, directed by her future husband Roman Polanski. Tate's last completed film was released in 1969. Tate met the French actor Philippe Forquet and began a relationship with him in 1963. They became engaged, but their relationship was volatile and they frequently argued. Career pressures drove them apart and they broke up the next year in 1964. The All Eyes on Sharon Tate documentary was used to publicize the film. It consisted of a number of scenes where Tate was filming Eye of the Devil, dancing in nightclubs, and sightseeing around London, and also contained a brief interview with her. Asked about her acting ambitions, she replied, "I don't fool myself, I can't see myself doing Shakespeare." While Tate was filming in London she met Roman Polanski. Tate and Polanski later agreed that neither of them had been impressed by the other when they first met. Polanski was planning The Fearless Vampire Killers, which was being, and had decided that he wanted the red-headed actress Jill St. John for the female lead. Ransohoff insisted that Polanski cast Tate, and after meeting with her Polanski agreed that she would be suitable on the condition that she wore a red wig during filming. The company traveled to Italy for filming, where Tate's fluent Italian proved useful in communicating with the local crew members. On August 8, 1969, Tate had lunch with actress Joanna Pettit at her home, confiding in her disappointment at Polanski's delay in returning from London. Polanski telephoned her that day. Her younger sister Deborah also called, to ask if she, her boyfriend and another friend could pick up a saddle that Sharon had purchased for Deborah in Europe. Tate declined, offering to have them over another time. Later that evening she dined out with friends and returned at about 10:30 p.m. Shortly after midnight, Tate, Sebring, Frykowski, and Folger were murdered by members of the Manson family cult. Their bodies were discovered the following morning by Tate's housekeeper Winifred Chapman. Police arrived at the scene to find a young man shot dead in his car in the driveway, later identified as Stephen Parent. Inside the house, the bodies of Tate and Sebring were found in the living room. A long rope tied around each of their necks connected them. On the front lawn lay the bodies of Frykowski and Folger. All of the victims except Parent had been stabbed numerous times. The coroner's report for Tate noted that she had been stabbed 16 times. Polanski was informed of the murders and returned to Los Angeles, where police questioned him about his wife and friends. On Wednesday, August 13, Tate was interred in the Holy Cross Cemetery, Culver City, California, with her stillborn son Paul Richard Polanski in her arms.